Good morning, everybody. Normally, I come on a little bit earlier, but I was just watching the sentence of Kim Potter, the officer that killed Dante Wright. So I was kind of riveted about what the judge was saying in her live remarks. But welcome to a broadcast that I do in my Facebook group, The Intimacy of Race, so that I can support allies of underserved communities, specifically Black and Brown folks, to have the resources and the perspective of people of color, the resources to learn about our history, our feelings, our emotions, our experience, so that we can all be better, do better, and have better. So I want to welcome you this morning. If you are joining me live, come on and say hello. If you are joining on the replay, just put hashtag replay. So I really had an intention this morning of sharing with you just some of the current things that are happening in the news around, first of all, the what is it? I think it's a civil rights lawsuit against what is it? Those two men who killed Ahmaud Arbery. Why am I blanking on their name? Hang on. What is their name? McMichaels. Yeah, Travis McMichael and his dad. And so I was listening and watching some of the text message exchange that he had with friends using the N word. And I'm going to pull some of that up here. And, one of the things I think one of the defendants, not just Travis McMichael, but it's the other men as well. There's one here. I'm working so all the N words can take off on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Um, uh, he also referred to it as a Monkey Day parade. I think it was that third defendant, Brian. And just hearing those text messages, how they felt about Black people in general, I want you to take a moment to think about the effect that that has on your Black friends. Have you checked in with your Black friends? You know that we are okay. I know this news is becoming commonplace, a common occurrence to find out these things, but I want to share something with you. It's really, really hard. Sorry, I didn't expect this. It's really, really hard to know that people think that about us. Oh God, I've never broken down on a Zoom before or a live. We don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. There's a lot of communities I'm in that I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe to share my experience. I don't feel safe knowing that people are thinking one thing and presenting another. It's a really scary. Hey, homie, how you doing? Sartre, nice to see you. So thank you guys for listening. I was watching a video of the incident that happened at a mall in New Jersey. And I'm from New Jersey. My homie from New Jersey is on this live with me. And there was a fight between two teenagers, one Black and one white. I don't know if you saw this. And they showed how the fight ensued with the white teenager pointing a finger in the Black teenager's face, the Black teenager slapping his hand away, and then the white teenager coming at him to push him, and then the fight ensued like most teenagers fight, right? But what was interesting about this one is the cops came to break up the fight, and clearly the white teenager was overpowering the black teenager because he was, in my opinion, from what I can see, much larger than the black teenager. And when the cops came to break that up, it was clear that they pulled the white teenager off of the black teenager, sat him down on the couch, and then they both jumped on the black teenager to handcuff him. And I'm going to share something with you. I have 2 children, both daughters, with my first marriage, and I was married to a black man. No longer married to him, and I'm married to a German gentleman now. And I remember distinctly feeling in both pregnancies, those pregnancies were in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. God, I would love to have a son, but I am terrified to bring a black man into this world, into America especially. And I was thrilled to have girls, and I love my girls to death, but there's always this longing in me to have a little boy. Because little boys love their mommies. Daughters, teenage girls are a whole different, a whole nother challenge. God love them and they're special, but I really wanted that experience, but I was terrified and secretly hoped that I wouldn't have a son because of this. And I'm sharing this with you is because the cards are just stacked against black men from so many different angles that, even in witnessing this woman, this Kim Potter, who shot Daunte Wright, we talk about empathy and how to have empathy for other people's experiences. But what I want to tell you is that as a white person, if there are white people listening to this, there's no way that you can fully empathize from your position of privilege for always being seen as not a threat, as always feeling safe in your whiteness. Now, I'm sure some of you will go to black neighborhoods and not feel safe. So that's not what I mean, but I'm just saying in general, walking around the world, walking around the communities that you're in and in your spaces, you are never, ever perceived as a threat. You are always given the benefit of the doubt. And that was so prominent in that video with the teenagers fighting. It's hard for you to empathize. You can seek to understand, but I have a real issue with empathy because it requires you to put yourself in that person's position. And I think it's really, really difficult when you grew up your whole life protected by whiteness to be able to truly empathize. For example, with the pain I'm feeling right now of how people view me based on the color of my skin. So, there's a lot to digest here. I obviously am full of emotion around, reading the messages from the 3 men that were convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery, watching the sentencing of Kim Potter, watching that video of the teenagers fighting and just how, by virtue of his dark skin, he was the one tackled to the ground and handcuffed. This is really, really hard and emotional because we are humans, but we're not viewed as equal humans, and it's painful AF. Painful AF. So this and more and other amazing insights can be found in my book, The Intimacy of Race, which I am going to, it's not showing up. Go to evamedilek.com/The Intimacy of Race book. The Intimacy of Race book if you want me to send you an autograph copy personally of The Intimacy of Race. But I've just started reading my book again. Where is it? I just started reading it again, and I've actually earmarked some things. The first time when I wrote it, I read it through the eyes of editing it and finding mistakes. But this time I read it for content, and I was like, oh my God, it's really good. It's really good. So I encourage you to get that if you want to really hear some amazing perspectives of what your Black and Brown friends may be experiencing, and in your attempt to seek to understand, to listen and learn without necessarily having that full capacity of empathizing and knowing what it's like to live in our shoes, but just have a deeper understanding of that. It's a really good start. It's a quick and easy read, and I'm really proud of it, if I do say so myself. So thank you for bearing with me today. I appreciate your time, energy, and effort being spent with me. And don't run from the news. I want to run from it all the time because it's really, really painful, what we're still experiencing 60 years after the civil rights movement has started. Like how many hundreds of more years before we're all seen as the human race and celebrated for our differences in skin color, hair texture, abilities. It's just really hopeless. I'm hopeful, but I'm hopeless, but I'm hopeful. And if that's the way, I've really got a foot in both buckets. So thank you for joining me. Billy, good to see you. Sacha, thanks for joining. If this is something that you think your friends need to hear, I would appreciate you sharing it out. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all next Friday. Bye.